That there's something incongruous about the fact that you've been asked to join the President's Commission Against Drug Abuse and the American Bar Association Council Against Drug Abuse, and here you're being thrown out of the country because of an arrest for pot that goes back a year?
They're asking us to become artists in residence for New York City and to help awareness in the city of art and music and love and peace and love, you know.
Peace and love. Yoko and John talking to Geraldo Rivera, a longtime journalist, a special guest of ours. Thanks for coming back.
My pleasure. Anytime, buddy.
We saw there why history does repeat itself, because Nixon and Trump have a playbook, and it always involves sprinkling in some claims. Maybe there was a tussle. Maybe there was trespassing. In this case, maybe there was marijuana, cannabis use. And yet they were vindicated, and you discussed it with them, that that was a pretext, that it was about their free speech. Do you see parallels today?
Of course there are parallels, particularly if President Trump follows through on his threat to investigate Oprah and others, Bono, others who appeared and benefit concerts for Kamala Harris. I think that if the president goes there, it will be again, like a kind of the days of probing the Hollywood during the McCarthyism. It's just a terrible, terrible retrofit that bothers me tremendously. I think that these artists have to be free to perform, and the president should be concerned with things that are grander and much more important to the American people. For him to go after them because they criticize him, he has always been thin-skinned. I remember during the Rosie O'Donnell flap, where he criticized Rosie and called her fat and slob and this and that. He called me over to Trump Tower to talk about it because I wanted him to pull off. I wanted him, it was around the time I was doing Celebrity Apprentice, and he was just getting up to steam on his presidential ambitions. And I thought that for him to, make that fight would be counterproductive. And what was it all about? What about freedom of speech and all the rest of it? And it's not as if President Trump doesn't give plenty of opportunities for criticism. My goodness, this crypto sleaze thing, the saga, there was nothing like that with Nixon. Nixon did Watergate, but we didn't know about it at the time John was getting thrown out of the country. We just were desperate to keep him in the country because it was hypocrisy. Yeah. They were throwing him out because he opposed the war in Vietnam, not because
exactly. So let's look at that with Lennon in the parallel, because I had a Trump border czar, Tom Homan, on last night, asked him point blank about this, because the concern is that they're trying to abuse immigration powers, which are strong, in all these ways, along with other things. And they just dropped the case against the mayor where they alleged he was trespassing an ICE facility. Again, an immigration focus. So here's his response. When you look at the investigations, it's a lot of critics of Donald Trump and Democrats. Can you think of or name any public official or individual who's in these crosshairs other than those folks? I've got some up on the screen. It goes from Cuomo to Comey to Springsteen at this point.
Those who break the law should be prosecuted. I'm not making any claim we're weaponizing anything. I don't think President Trump's weaponizing anything against his political opponents. We're enforcing the law.
Your thoughts?
I didn't like when they went after Trump for Stormy Daniels. I didn't like when they went after Trump for the documents. I thought that was the weaponization of the legal process. That's in my opinion. I think that if he uses the Justice Department in the way that it now is indicated that he will, going after Andrew Cuomo in New York City as he runs for mayor with allegations from the time he was governor, going after these artists that I spoke of earlier, and Oprah. It just what the hell is the presidency about? And I think that that's really the trouble with the crypto campaign, this sleazy thing. What's the presidency about? Is it about unjust enrichment, or even enrichment, or is it about serving the nation? It just seems to me when Bruce Springsteen sings so emotively, A City of Ruin, or the songs that he sings from the heart and from the gut. He's singing about it in America and the problems in America. I was shocked when he, treasonous, incompetent, and corrupt is hard words to direct at the President of the United States. I would never do it myself. Do them on the issues. I think that's fine. But I think that both these guys, I would like Bruce to go back to music and the president to go back to, guiding the country rather than making it seem as if the presidency is just a vehicle, one more Trump, it's like Trump steaks or Trump casinos. It's just another one of those forays into the get-rich-quick scheme world. And it really gives a bad taste, it should, to anyone watching and the way he's comporting himself. I mean, to hang out with people, crypto was, I remember when Trump was saying crypto was for sleazebags and criminals, that it's where people went to launder money. And for him now to be the king of the heap is grossly hypocritical. So I understand why Bruce wants to sing about it. I wish the criticism was less ad hominem and harsh, but the campaign has to end. The campaign for president has to end. Now, the president has to preside, not getting free jet planes, and doubling his worth to $5 billion because in my day, when a president got rich, it was because he was finished his term honorably. You make speeches, you write books, you get a library, and you become enshrined in the history books.